Number 4.
San Francisco. So now they're getting their guys back, Debo and Kittle. They don't have Christian McCaffrey, but the reality is they lead the NFL in time of possession. It's still Shanahan, Purdy, Debo, Kittle, Ayuk, Jennings. Come on. When this team is healthy, with or without Christian McCaffrey, it's a really good football team. And again, Fred Warner is playing linebacker at a level we have not seen for a long, long time. San Francisco at 4.
Number 3.
Yeah, it's actually pretty crazy because they talked about this on First Things First with Mangini. How when they look at it, they haven't really lost a lot with Christian McCaffrey, which is pretty wild, and that just shows you how legit this team is, how legit Brock Purdy is, and Shanahan. So a lot of people saw the 49ers as really just being a more fragile team, right? If one of the Avengers go down, it's just like they all go down. Christian McCaffrey being the workhorse that he is, it's just this team is done. And that's why First Things First even had a whole thing, which I already discussed about, can the 49ers win a Super Bowl without Christian McCaffrey? And so I'm not going to rehash all that. I do think the 49ers are, of course, a top team in the NFL. It's actually kind of interesting now when you think about it, 49ers fans, how the 49ers are essentially being doubted, right? I mean, in a lot of ways, for the last few years, they've been the front runners. One of the top two teams consistently, Chiefs, 49ers, Chiefs, 49ers, Chiefs, 49ers. And now it feels like there's a lot of doubters. Obviously, people throughout the whole Brock Purdy run, people have doubted Brock Purdy, but it was always like, that was more like individual, right? That was more specific to Purdy and not the 49ers as a whole. And it still feels like even like a full strength 49ers team, people are still picking the Chiefs to win. And I find this pretty interesting. I think it's partially because, of course, injuries, as well as last year they just were perceived as more dominant, right? Some of their wins were just so much bigger and more convincing. And obviously it was later in the season, but they were able to completely dominate the Cowboys and the Eagles, right? They had some of these really big wins. Even though then they got dominated by the Ravens, there was still an insane belief in the 49ers. And it feels like, I don't know if it's also partly because of losing in the Super Bowl to the Chiefs, but it just feels like some of that level of intense belief has kind of been lost a little bit. I wonder if 49ers fans have sensed that or feel that way as well. It seems like even Brock Purdy, to a degree, has gotten less attention. It seems like people used to constantly talk about, is he great? Is he not great? Is he great? Is he not great? And now there's just like, there's conversation still about the 49ers because he's, it's a wildly popular team. It just feels that it's hitting a little bit different, right? It just feels like they're doing the takes on the 49ers because they have to. It's a popular team, but it just feels a little bit more lukewarm. That's been my read on it, especially as I reflect back on these last 4 weeks and all of the media attention. So I am curious if you guys have felt that way as well. Yeah, we've never really got to see who this 49ers team is right now because of injuries. Truthfully, it's like that with a lot of teams at this point. Even a team that's actually having a lot of success, like the Vikings, right? Like they haven't been full strength yet, like missing key pieces. The Eagles missing key pieces. The 49ers missing key pieces. The Packers missing their quarterback, right? Like it's just a lot of teams. The Chiefs are missing everyone right now, and it's like, well, those injuries are done in a way where they might get a lot of them back at the end of the year, right? What happens when they get Brown and Pacheco and maybe Rice? Rice is kind of a question mark. Like it's just kind of interesting how there's so many of these teams that were like, I think we're good, they're good, I know they're good, but also like, I don't know, they're missing some like legitimate pieces, right? The 49ers obviously missing Debo and Kittle, and now that they're kind of back, but still missing Christian McCaffrey, like, I don't know. It's definitely fascinating. It feels like potentially this might be the year where it's really like who can just get healthy at the right time, right? Who can just be the healthiest at the right time. And it's just, in a lot of ways, I think the 49ers, I already kind of broke this all down in a long clip, so I'll also not kind of rehash all this, but in a lot of ways, Christian McCaffrey not playing is actually kind of a good thing because I do believe that the 49ers will still be able to be a top team and make it to the playoffs. But I think Christian McCaffrey not playing right now, then you'll get him back in like week 13, 14, 15, 16, whatever it may be. He's going to get himself in shape, get himself game ready, And then he's going to be like 110% full strength. Let's go come time playoffs. He's going to be the freshest guy out there. And he's arguably like the greatest weapon right now in the NFL. And he's going to be completely healthy, completely refreshed, and not have any season mileage on him. And it's going to be like, okay, well, this is a mega cheat code. You're going to really be able to rely on him as a workhorse, like to the next level. So it may honestly really, really, really work out in the 49ers' favor. And then, if they are fortunate enough to win the Super Bowl and have their parade, people will be like, was it lucky that Christian McCaffrey was injured? Should more teams, not play their big players? Like, whatever. Like, I guarantee you there would be some sort of talk about that. So, but obviously we're a long way away from that. I just wouldn't be me if I didn't look for the silver lining. Yeah, I think it's going to be cool to start to see this team now hopefully get some healthy games under their belt and string together some of these games so we can start to get a clearer idea truly who the 49ers are. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the 49ers being ranked 4th according to Colin Cowherd? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I'd absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.